We got threads. What do we? Uh, Poe doesn't like the Armstead contract. He thinks I'm paying him too much money.
Well, it it was more about. I'm assuming it was more about just getting him than the money, right?
It was about having him. It's 2 years, and so these are the contracts I have coming up. Uh, the fullback from Auburn, Cox, Dieter, Shaq Lawson. Uh, that those like I have, and then like Ricky Wagner. Like I don't have anybody who's gonna need a big contract next year, so it was about spending money. You know what I mean? Like just getting it out of there. And I'm not gonna have to spend any next year, so I was like, I'm gonna get him, and maybe he can make Tua not the worst.
I was really mad you got Wagner. I really wanted him.
I know, I saw you had 153
I
bid
know
on him.
I was trying to cheat, and I totally forgot about the rule, and Rebel actually messaged me. He was like, "Hey man, the max bid is 140," and I was like, "Oh shit! Like you're totally right." And so I went and
I oh
changed it.
I almost said something, but I was like, somebody else will tell him. I don't want to like seem like I'm being. Uh, there we go. Ugh. Yeah.
What's crazy is like the mock last year was pretty consistent with everybody. We were all over the board with this
Dude,
one.
I like it at certain points. I was just taking like shots in the dark. I was like, there you go. I was like, I don't have anybody. Like, Pode said he somehow had 27 players with a first round grade scouted. I was like, dude, I have like 19.
I,
Like,
I wish, yeah, like who? Like I would love to know
yeah, I
who
was
those
like,
guys are.
I was like, well, I think some of them were running backs, and I had no running
Oh,
backs
yeah, I didn't either.
scout. I had one. I had one running back scouted because I was like, what's this guy look like? But um, so we can go ahead and get started because we've got 4 people in here now. So
Yeah, let's do it.
welcome guys, welcome into the mock draft podcast. We'll answer some questions too as we go. Um, I'm Kyle. Sam's here. We have 4 mock drafts this year. We have right. It's you.
Yeah.
It's Sam, me. Uh, Will
Pode and Will.
and Pode. Yep.
Yep.
So let's just go ahead and jump into it with the number 1 pick for Vince. I'm gonna go ahead and in about 5 minutes in advance to the start of the slug. So who did you have Vince taking here for the Detroit Lions?
So I had the edge rusher Tyler Woodward.
Yep.
To me, we've said it before. This is a draft class that is all about the front 7, and Woodward is 21 years old. He ranks in the top 5 in terms of his position in 4 out of 5 drills
And 5 out
for
of
the
6.
combine. Oh yeah, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I can't count. In 5 out of 6 for the combine drills. So to me, this is one of the only no-brainers here, especially for Vince, who I like what he's done on offense. I think his offense is going to be fine. I would start rebuilding that defense because to me, it's tough for him trying to trade out of the first overall pick when there's not a good QB. So
Yeah.
to me, he's going to stick with it, and I think he takes Woodward. And you and Poe agree, and Will has him taking the outside linebacker, Matt Adams.
Matt Adams at I mean, I guess I could see it, but you're not going to reach for a late first round true talent at the beginning of the draft.
Yeah, I agree.
You've got to go for that sure thing here, and Woodard is about as close to a sure thing as we have in this draft. I mean, 6'5", 260. You're just not going to get much better than him here.
No, 7.3 combine grade, like that's for a defensive end, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, you're just There are a couple other spots that Vince could look at, I guess. Like, he could look at corner, but do you really want to go? JoJo Brewer's the only guy who's got an early first-round grade, and he's 23.
Yeah.
And like, age doesn't really matter, but it does at the same time. Like, nobody wants to go in with a 23-year-old being the number one pick that you made when there's a 21-year-old sitting there. So
For real. For sure.
So moving on to the Texans, and I know that everybody had different picks here. I went with Dwayne Glenn, the running back out of Duke. 7.7 combine grade. He's a little. He ran a 4.5 40, but he's 22. 5'11", 226. A's across the board in carrying, trucking, and ball carrier vision. So, he's the only running back I had scouted, and the Texans' starting running back right now is Elijah Mitchell. So for me, it was like, okay, well, I guess you could go into the season with 60. I don't want to say it before it's 69 overall, Elijah Mitchell.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was like, I want to be right, so I can hear Sam say nice, but I gotta be sure that it's 69. So
You should totally do that.
yeah. So yeah.
I had
Who did?
Brandon Mann here, the right end out of Boise State. The beginning of my draft is pretty much all about the front seven. And the Texans also had multiple picks in this draft. And the teams, he also has pick 10, and I just can't really see a running back going unless it's a trade up. So I actually have Houston taking Glenn, but not until pick 10. So pick 2, I just went best available, and to me that was Brandon Mann. He's 22. He ranks in the top 5 in 3 out of 6 categories for the Combine Report, and he ranks in the top 10 in 5 out of 6. A- hit power, A- power moves, B+ pursuit. I know his talent is a mid first rounder, but with everybody on the board, I think Houston also needs to kind of reload this defense. And you could honestly argue him taking a wide receiver at this spot. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. But if it was me, I think I would pick Mann, because I think he's just a little bit of a safer bet than one of the receivers. But
sure.
I will say, if he doesn't think that Glenn will be there at pick 10, he should go ahead and take him, because he's the best running back by far. It's not even close. And
well, I don't know that for sure. I mean, the other guys might be good. I don't have them scouted.
Well,
so.
I have scouted up until like the 4th round, and the ones that I've seen, I would rather have him over the other ones.
For sure.
And then Pode has Houston taking defensive lineman Derek Ware, and Will has them taking wide receiver Jonathan Moses. Honestly, if you're picking in the top 10, there's some nice pieces here.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think there is really a quote can't miss guy. I would say outside of Woodard. So if you're picking 2 through 10, I don't think you really can go wrong with any of the guys we're about to talk about. And
for sure.
I mean, Moses is a physical freak. 6'4", 231, only 21 years old. Runs a 4.51, which is it's okay. But everything else you like to see. He was first in vertical jump, broad jump, and second in bench press. So he's going to be able to out-muscle guys on those deep throws. So any of these picks is good for Houston.
For sure. So let's go to our first question that I got last night.
Okay.
And it's not as much of a question as it is a direct request from Kevin for a formal apology from me to Dante Jackson.
Okay.
And here's what I have to say to that, Kevin. Go fuck yourself. I'm not apologizing to Dante Jackson. He's trash. No, I'm just kidding, Kevin. I apologize. He was the number 1 corner. I was wrong. So you win this time, Kevin. So, but yeah. But an actual question from Kevin. Uh, Best signing of free agency in your opinion?
Hmm. Um. Hmm.
So
Best
I'm going to go to the
signing.
transaction report and we can just kind of walk through it and see.
Oh,
So
oh, I know. I would probably say Harrison Smith to the
I
Patriots.
knew I knew you were going
Um,
to say that, and that's
yeah.
why.
So you have one of the McCourty brothers. I won't lie, I can't remember which one. I think it was Devin that
Devin.
played
Yep.
safety.
Yep.
He
Devin.
retires, and for Cody to get a guy who I think had a higher, at least a pretty similar overall,
Yep.
and just replace him is just a typical Cody move.
Yep. He cleared
And
enough cap space to go sign a top three. You know, free agent in the offseason, as Cody always does somehow.
yeah, I actually like Mostert to the Colts. Only a 2 year deal. I know, backups haven't really played a big role in Madden so far. I have a feeling that's
Right.
probably going to change this upcoming season, at least a little bit. And to get
Yeah.
Mostert, who was second team all running back, or you could argue he should have been first team flex if you want to get down to
Right.
it. To get him backing up Jonathan Taylor, that's now suddenly a really nice rushing offense for the Colts.
For sure. For me, there was one I really liked. Where is it? Damn it.
Was it Josh Allen to the Bucks on a
It
1 year
I
deal?
do I do like that also, but it wasn't that one. It was somebody else. It was you know, I like the CJ Mosley signing by you.
Mm,
Um I like No, it was I like the Lions bringing in Damon Harrison Sr. on a 1 year $7.63
yeah.
million dollar contract.
Also brought in Sue as well.
Yeah. So I mean, if you go look at the Lions roster, like it's not a top end move. Harrison's not a great like talent anymore. He's not the 90 overall he was a few seasons ago. But I mean, your front two, if you're running your two DTs, if you're running a 4-3, are Damon Harrison Sr. at 6'3", 353, and Marcel Darius at 6'3", 331. So you've got two space eaters in the middle, and like you said, he brought in Sue, another big dude. If he does go with Woodard here, that's just his front four becomes really really dangerous. So
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
know.
go ahead and start the slug now. It's been about 13 minutes, so
Sure.
let's
Um,
go ahead and do
One
this.
move that I really liked, and it's more than just free agency. I have loved what Chris has done this offseason. Like
Oh yeah,
letting Mostert go,
we
but signing Le'Veon Bell, trading for Hopkins. Like this offense is going to be special next season. I feel like also getting Micah Hyde on a 1 year deal is huge too. So I mean, props to Chris. This division was really competitive last year, and we talked about we both I feel like had the Seahawks and the 49ers kind of on that same tier, but to me, I now kind of feel like the 49ers are a little bit ahead of the Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree. And we have a question later about best trade and whatnot that we can get
Oh,
into.
whoops.
I would have stopped you, but I was typing into the announcements because we still have the bug going on where you can't make the pick if you're not in your uh, draft board before, or you don't send a trade out.
Okay, that makes sense.
So just so everybody knows, that's still there. It's still happening. So, um, moving on to number 3, we have Bucks and Larry up. And let's start with Will. Where did Will have them going?
So Will actually had Tyler Woodard going here,
Okay.
um, which I can't
I mean,
see.
if he's there,
Yeah, if
I
he's
mean, if
there,
he's
that's the
there, he's
pick for
there.
sure. But I just can't
Right.
see Woodard falling that far. Um, but I mean, we've seen some strange things happen. Pode and you both have Tampa taking center CJ Rogan, which I think is a
Yep.
good pick. And then
Yep.
I have Larry taking right end Cole Raymond. Like I said, three picks, three defensive linemen for me.
So for me, I CJ Rogan is just he's the only offensive lineman who should go in the top 15.
Right.
Um, and my thinking
The
here, and I'm sure it
Texans
was
are now on
Pode's.
the clock.
Oh, the Texans are on the clock. We can do some live analysis after we finish this. With how good Ronald Jones was last year, and CJ Rogan being an A minus run block power and run block, and a B plus lead blocker, that could be huge for getting Ronald Jones even more yards. You know what I mean? So, and we have Tyler Woodard going first overall. So, congrats to Pode, me, and you for getting that one right. But he's a
Suck it, Will.
75 overall. So that should tell you right there. There's a reason that we didn't let some trades for late round picks or late first go through, because these drafts are not good.
Really not
Like,
good.
they're really not good. If I want to see what his true talent is. If
What led
he's
you?
a normal, no.
Oh.
Vince posted a picture. He is the number 7 ranked player in this draft at 75 overall, and he's a normal dev. I am so
Ooh.
sorry. I
Oh,
am
no.
so sorry, Vince. Ugh. And I said it the other day while doing State of the Franchise. These drafts are bad, and there are a lot more normal dev stuff going on. Like, there's not a lot of dev anymore. Madden has made like a concerted effort to make the drafts worse, it seems, in the last few years.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Would you want to?
It's as if it's just, yeah. Let's go. Let's move on to number 4. Ugh. I just feel so bad right now for Vince. Like, that's terrible.
Well, this is why we talked about also. Dragon Awards are going to be so huge.
Right.
So,
Um.
this is another reason, guys. Just continue pumping out that content. We only, it can be something as simple as just tweeting or sending in questions for the pod, or even doing like a mock draft or something. It can be anything. So,
I mean, if you want to write 5 or 10 questions, that's enough for one podcast. That's enough for me to be like, okay, well, they're involved. So let's go ahead and move on to number 4, Minnesota Vikings, and I have them taking Max Harris out of Auburn. And Pode has them taking JoJo Brewer. Who do you and Will have them taking?
So I have him taking safety Nick Gillespie. He lost Harrison Smith in the offseason.
Yep.
Gillespie is 21 years old. He ranks in the top 3 in safeties for 5 out of 6 categories for the Combine report. And he's A minus hit power, B pursuit, B catching. I think this is a natural, just plug and play kind of guy that he can come in and start and make a difference right away. And then Will has Minnesota taking QB Brian Sharp.
Yeah, so when Will sent this in to me, I said I hope the quarterback goes number 4 overall, because I will have some things to say about it if he does, because this man is not good enough to go top 4, and he is 23 years old.
Yep, strong
and
arm.
A mid round. If he was a 23-year-old scrambler, I could see it, but 23 years old and in a mid round two, like, no, you can't take this guy here. He could be a scramble or a strong arm improviser because his 4.89 40-yard dash is pretty close to like being scrambler territory.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think you can go quarterback this early. If you want to go quarterback, trade back. I don't think Minnesota has to trade back into this first round to take a quarterback. I think he could take him in the mid or at 4 in the second round. So,
Yeah. I'm a little surprised. I like JoJo Brewer, but he's 23. And
yeah,
if I have a top 5 pick, unless it's a quarterback, I just have a hard time justifying taking somebody who's 23 personally.
yeah. And then, I mean, if you look at... So we talked about Jonathan Moses earlier. Max Harris is Jonathan Moses light. Like, or, he's an inch shorter, but a pound heavier, and he's faster. He's a 4.4 guy. Like, I don't think... There are 3 receivers, I think, that had early... Yeah. Maybe did Monty have it too? No, he is mid. So there are the 3 receivers, Moses, Harris, and Weaver, all have early first round grades, and you could make the argument that any of them would be really good players on any team, except for Weaver's 23, and the other 2 are 21. So, let's do another question. Let's do another question before we get into you. So this is also... never mind. Hold on one second. The text.
Breaking
Dwayne
news.
Dwayne Glenn. 2 for 2 for Kyle and Pode. So,
That's right.
76 overall, halfback Dwayne Glenn. Let's see if there's a picture. If he's got the picture up, it looks like he does not. So Kevin had a question, and we'll hopefully get to see that picture here in a minute as we move on to Larry's now on the clock. Let's see. Let's do worst trade first before we do best trade. We'll do these ones together. Worst and best trade. But let's start with the worst trade.
Worst trade.
So, like, I'm going to go into the trade committee and see what we've got.
A whole lot of conversations about the...
Yeah. I'm not looking at that. I'm ignoring... Okay, so they've upgraded this trade. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say... Where is it? The trade that I liked the least was Kevin trading for Greenlaw.
Really?
And not that it's a bad trade. Oh, yeah. I will be doing Dragons. I will put up the scenario for Dragons sometime this afternoon, Vince. So it will be soon. So, I mean, if we just want to look at Greenlaw, like, I know he's had really, really good seasons in men. I just don't like giving up draft capital for a guy who you had a very similar player in CJ Mosley and letting him walk.
Sure.
Because you're going to have to re-sign Greenlaw after this season unless your plan is to just keep rotating them out, just keep trading picks for guys. But so in the last, like, I want to see, Kevin made 1 pick last year. He's going to make no picks this year, and next year he only has 4 picks. So, like, and I don't particularly like this draft class, but you can't keep trading players to replace the guys that you already have. Like, you eventually have to get some young guys. Like, when you're going for it all, like, I get it. Like, moving guys in and out makes sense. But, like, we're now at a point where in a few years Kevin won't have any players on his team that he drafted.
Oh no,
And that's
he's not gonna. He's gonna have all old players.
yeah. Like Jackson Carman is the one dude who he took last year, and he's good. He's a good overall. He's a 79 star, but he's also gave up 17 sacks in year one. So I mean, but it's not a terrible. It's hard when you're on the trade committee and you have to approve them, because if it was a really terrible trade, it wouldn't have gotten approved. Okay, we do have a pick. We had Dwayne Glenn is hidden dev with 88 speed, 81 break tackle, 90 acceleration, 89 agility, 89 carrying, 87 ball carrying vision, 86 trucking, 80 stiff arm. Dude's a monster. Dude is an absolute monster. There's my pick for rookie of the year right there.
Yeah, that's a smart pick. I guess if I have to pick, a trade that I dislike the most, honestly, I would probably have to pick the Patriots and Rams trade, sending Flowers, because
Yeah.
but if because everybody always complains about Cody and how Cody always has cap problems, but he gets out of it. But and you have people just helping him out,
Yeah.
he's just getting rid of Flowers and current 3, current 6. It's the deal itself isn't bad, but if if you don't trade with Cody, then suddenly his cap shrinks and he has to make decisions about who he keeps.
So the one thing I'll say there is Cody made that trade, and I get why Corb would do it, because Cody could have just released Flowers. He didn't have to make the trade. He could have released him, and that means Corb has to go up against everybody else to bid for his money. Whereas if he trades for him, he's guaranteed to get him. So I get it. I agree with you. Don't help Cody out when you think he's going to be in cap hell. Let him be in cap hell for once. Nobody's coming to rescue my players when I'm in cap hell.
Yep.
And so best trade for me, it's DeAndre Hopkins and the Cardinals going to San Francisco. More from Chris's side. I like Roy's side was whatever, Roy got a couple draft picks, which, he had none this year in the first round. So now he has a first to play with, and he got 2 draft picks next year.
Yeah.
I would have liked to. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
I would have liked to see Roy take back Deebo Samuel in that trade. I get why Roy didn't want him, because he has
the open drop straight.
Yeah, drops passes, which still can't edit. I don't know why I can't edit that, Madden. I'm gonna double check to make sure that I can't edit it, but I don't. Why is that not a thing, Madden? Why can I not edit drops open passes? Ugh. But
you have to play.
So go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say to unlock that feature, you have to play 25 hours worth of MUT. That unlocks for you in franchise.
Jesus Christ. Well, if I enjoyed playing this game this year, I might have, we talk a lot about MUT here, and if I actually enjoyed playing this game, I put a lot of time, and I've put money into MUT before. Not a ton of money, but I put in $20 here and there.
Right.
But, I hate how this Madden plays, so I haven't put in any time into MUT. So
that's fair. Also, Texans has come out and said that you as in you, Kyle, your mock draft swayed me at the last second to take Glenn. So congrats to you. You gave him the bump.
I appreciate it, Lucha. Yeah, I really liked Glenn. If I didn't have Najee Harris sitting here, Yeah, I haven't put in any in this year. No other one, like, not this year. But so your best trade of the offseason.
Oh, I agree fully. It's the Hopkins trade.
Yep.
I too like it a little better for Chris, just because of the timeline of his team. Like Purdy is going to be under his rookie deal for the next few years. You know, he now has a bunch of cap to play with. He doesn't
Yep.
have to pay Greenlaw. So I think using that money to
Oh,
go get
and
Hopkins
tight
was
end
smart.
Anthony Perez goes number 3 overall to the Buccaneers.
None of us had
Uh
that.
76 overall. Hopefully Larry will post a picture in the uh draft photos so we can get a look at this guy. But that's a great pick. I almost had the Bucks going there, but I was like, there's no way they'll take a tight end that early, but I was wrong. So I just want to look at if you look at the 49ers receivers now, they've got 99 overall DeAndre Hopkins. They've got Allen Robinson, Jarvis Landry, Deebo Samuel, who's on the block. Even Kendrick Bourne and Brandon Ayuk are really good. So, like, he's got a stacked receiver class or group. So,
Larry posted
uh,
a picture of the tight end. 84 speed, 86 catching, 91 acceleration, 79 catching traffic, 72 short route, 67 medium route. He's okay.
looks like he's a normal dev.
Mm, yeah, he looks fine. I mean, he's an
Yeah,
upgrade
I
from what
mean,
I have, so I can't
yeah.
say
So
anything about it.
let's go ahead and jump back into your pick because there's a chance we could be there in a second. So, we'll do everybody else's and then we'll see who you had take yourself taking. I had you taking Anthony Perez, um, as did Pode. Who did Will have you taking?
Uh, Will had Will had me taking the middle linebacker Demarius Snell.
Oh, okay.
I had myself taking Max Harris.
Okay.
Um, I let Roby Anderson walk in free agency, and Schwartz didn't get Dev, but Seth Williams did, which was great. You know, I don't really play Deontay Harris at wide receiver. Like he's really strictly just a returner.
Right.
So I would love to get another weapon for Trey Lance, but honestly, I can't really afford to not go best player overall, just because my team still has some holes in it. And like
Well,
trading for Grady Jarrett, signing C.J. Mosley, signing 2 veteran corners, like it's starting to come together. But like I still
right.
have some holes that I need to fill, and I've looked at Perez, but I'm just not a huge fan of using a top 5 pick on a tight end. But again,
For sure.
if I thought he was the best player available, I was going to take him. But tentatively, I have myself taking Max Harris.
So we have a comment in the chat. On drop passes. This is from no other one. On drop passes. Just remember, everyone tried saying trading for Mims was a waste, but he had some monster games for me, even while being the third wide receiver. And it's not that I think having drop passes is the worst thing in the world. It's frustrating sometimes in streams when you watch your guy just drop wide open passes, but a lot of times they drop the wide open passes and then they make ridiculous circus catches, and you're like, okay, well, at least they made that one.
Right.
So
And I think it's gotten better, though, with the recent slider
yeah,
changes. There hasn't been
yeah,
as many drops, or as many open drops anyway.
for sure. So moving on to the Miami Dolphins, I'll let you do
Yeah, I'll announce
you
the.
will impode, and then I'll say mine, who I had myself taking.
So I had you taking Matt Adams here. I thought, especially with your free agency additions on the offensive line, I thought about having you take Hunter Maddox, which is who Will has you taking. Pose has you taking
I don't
edge.
even know who. I don't know who Hunter Maddox is. Oh, he's the left guard. All right, there he is.
Code has you taking Edge Brandon Mann.
Yep. So I have myself taking John Moses here. The, it came down to best player available here.
Right.
I could go Edge and move and not have to re-sign Shaq Lawson. He's one of the only players who I have coming up. But for me, Jonathan Moses is something that I don't have in a wide receiver. Like Chris Olave is big, but he's not strong like Moses is. So it would just give me that big body guy who hopefully can make catches in the middle of the field in traffic. So
Yeah, and that makes sense. And honestly, teams in the top 5 should be going best player available outside of the Bucks, who got this pick traded to them.
right,
They kind of have the
still
luxury. Yeah, they have the luxury of kind of, if they want to reach, it's okay. But
right.
to me, if you think John Moses is the best player available, that's who you should take.
Yep. So moving on to the Buffalo Bills, who had an interesting offseason, to say the least.
Yep.
I have them taking JoJo Brewer. I think that trading away Trey White makes this a position of need. They're the first team that I can honestly say I was like, they absolutely need a cornerback.
Yeah, I agree with you, but with Madden, I just don't know how much corners matter. Because like I was rolling out 3 rookies in my top 4 corners, and like my pass defense was average, like it was fine.
Right.
So I had him taking Jonathan Moses here, as did Pode, and Will had him taking wide receiver Max Harris. So 3 out of the 4 think he's taking a wide receiver of some sort.
Which is also a really good call. If you remember, he traded Stephon Diggs to Cody.
Sure did.
Yeah, I'm not salty about it at all. Stephon Diggs didn't score like 6 touchdowns against me or anything in friggin' 2 games. I mean, it makes sense that he would go wide receiver. His top receiver right now is Cole Beasley, then Gabriel Davis. So he does have Kyle Pitts, superstar at tight end. So, yeah, I think that's a smart pick. Moving on to Phil and the Chargers. Pode had them going Hunter Maddox. I had them going. I also had them going corner in Joe Meadows. Who did Will and you have him taking?
So I have the Chargers taking Hunter Maddox, the left guard, and Will has him taking outside linebacker Andrew Dillon.
Okay, I don't have Dillon scouted, so
I don't either.
So he has decent corners. I guess I did. I thought for some reason I forgot he had Tyson. I always forget about the legacy players when we're doing this. I think left guard probably makes sense with Forrest Lamp being his starter. So the pick probably will be Hunter Maddox. Now looking at it, he also needs a left tackle, like something fierce. If he wants Herbert to return to being a functioning quarterback, he's gonna need to beef up this offensive line.
Yeah, and I think that's a big F with Herbert, unfortunately.
Moving on to the Giants. Who do you have them taking?
So I have linebacker Demarius Snell here.
I like that pick. It's a really good pick. That is definitely a position of need for them.
A position of need, and I actually think Snell is one of the best players in this draft. And I feel like just because so many people need either ends or receivers, that he's going to fall because of it.
Yep.
And then Will has center CJ Rogan going here, which also wouldn't be a bad pick.
Yep. Yeah, his starting center is Alec Lindstrom, 66 overall. So, I have him going Kyle Weaver, and Poet has him going Joe Meadows. So, any of those picks could be it because right now he's got 29-year-old Sterling Shepard, 34-year-old Golden Tate at receiver to go with Slayton at 25.
Yeah.
Like I said, 66 overall Alex Lindstrom.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about being
does-
a bad team is that you pretty much can't mess up your pick.
The one thing that I will say that maybe moves him away from taking a middle linebacker is he does have 23-year-old Demarius Hankins as his legacy player. And he has a superstar Gordon McPhee as a backup. And he signed like he's got like 9 freaking middle, like I've never seen somebody have so many, like he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 middle linebackers on his roster right now.
Jeez. Well, might as well have 9.
Yeah, might as well. So, let's do a question real quick while we don't have any picks coming in. And let's go to Chris. Non-playoff teams most likely to make the playoffs, and playoff teams unlikely to make the playoffs next year.
Oh, boy.
So let's look at the playoff teams first. We'll do that one that are most likely to not make the playoffs. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Titans are the most likely playoff team from the AFC to not make it next year, and the Eagles as the one from the NFC most likely to not make it.
I'll agree. I think a case could be made for Washington not making it, but depending on what happens with, if they
This Lamar trade, that's
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I don't want to I don't want to speculate because if they have Lamar, then I think it's pretty open and shut that they would probably make it. As for playoff team or non-playoff teams that have a chance to make it in the NFC, I think it's pretty clearly the Cardinals. They had a plus 55 point differential, and they went 9-7. They were right on the edge of making it.
But I would also say, in addition to the Cardinals, the Jags and Colts, because that division is just weird.
Yep, and I also have another team that I think could make it. It's the New Orleans Saints.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding. I was looking at your offseason last night before I went to bed, and I was like, you know what? Sam had a really nice. It's quiet. It's not it's nothing crazy, but it's a nice offseason. I'm just gonna go look through your team real quick, and so you have a pretty good quarterback. You have a great running back who's young. You have okay receivers, and if you add another one, that's an even better. Like your tight ends or whatever. You've got a superstar left tackle. You've got a really good guard. You know, Will Clapp. Your right side of your offensive line is a little sketchy, but then it goes to the defense, and you've got David Bowen. You've got Grady Jarrett and Marvin Wilson. You've got CJ Mosley, who you brought in. You have a couple holes, but your team as a whole looks a lot better. And if there's any drop-off from Kevin at all, you could steal this division from him. I'm not saying that it's a for sure thing, but,
Yeah, that was my goal this offseason. Is I wasn't going for a bunch of major splashes. I just wanted to just get better.
And I guess I don't hate what Corb has done. I didn't realize he brought in Ali Marpet. When did you get Corb? When did you get Marpet?
He traded.
Did I miss
for
this?
him
Was
today.
this
was today?
This was a trade. Man, I slept in and I missed this.
Yeah.
Hey, if Woodard has 15 sacks, you might make the playoffs, Vince. So actually, like looking, oh man, I actually also Corb's got a really decent team here, and they, you know what? I'll put you, Corb, and the Cardinals as all potential in the NFC, but it's gonna take a lot of people falling off for that to happen in the NFC.
Agreed.
But Will's gonna fall off this season. Mark it down here. Mark it down here. Will goes 3-13 this season. Just
3-13.
I'm not gonna commit to that. That's too much. I'm just kidding.
You heard it here
so
first.
moving.
Panthers 3-13 have the number one overall pick. Oh wait, didn't he trade his future one
I'm sure he did.
for Greenlaw?
So
yeah.
moving.
So congrats, Chris, on number one next year.
No, not Panthers. Packers. Will. Not Kevin.
Oh, we're talking about Will. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I have to spread the hate between Will and Kevin, or else they both get a little too upset with me. So moving on to the Texans' second pick in the first round, we have who do you have going? Because I don't have my thing open right now.
Well, this is where I had Glenn going, but he's already gone. So me and Poe are out. But
I have them taking Demarius Snell here.
Yeah. Yeah, Will had him taking Perez, so you're the only one that has a chance of it working out for you.
Yeah. Another spot he needs is middle linebacker. I did his state of the franchise the other day. It was pretty rough on the defensive side. So we've already talked about Houston a lot. Let's move on to Atlanta, where I have them going Cameron Graham, defensive tackle from Clemson.
I have the same. I think he's a natural Grady Jarrett replacement.
Yep.
Let me look up his stats here. Or his combine
He's B+.
stuff.
Oh, I'm in here. He's
Okay.
top 2 in 40-yard, 3-cone, 20-yard, and bench press, and then top 10 in vert and broad jump. And he's 21 years old.
Yeah. This is a good spot. This is a good spot for him.
And Poe has them going Vaughn Sutton, and I don't know who Will has them going. Who does Will have them going?
Will has him taking safety Myron Brennan. So all four of
Okay.
us have him taking some sort of defensive player, which I think is smart. His offense was still good last year.
Yep.
And I can't really see that falling off too much. I guess it depends on Matt Ryan's regression, of course, but
Yep. All right, let's move on to my favorite team ever, the Las Vegas Raiders.
who do you have the Raiders auto drafting this year?
I have them auto drafting Vaughn Sutton, corner from Miami.
Yeah, so me and Will have the Raiders both taking corner Joe Meadows, and then Poe has him taking wide receiver Kyle Weaver.
So I just want to. I mean, that's possible. Again, we have no idea because chances are that Minnesota won't draft. So we'll have to see who the CPU likes for him. Looking at his wide receiver core, Jesus Christ, he's done nothing with Henry Ruggs to make him. I'm gonna get mad again, Sam. I'm gonna get mad again.
Ruggs is going to be bad in our league. It's going to be the only league where he's just like not good.
Ruggs is an 82 overall, and I'm pretty sure he started out at like a 77.
Yeah, you're correct.
So 2 years in, and he's gone up 5 points.
He does need receiver. I think I think receiver was a good pick.
He also needs corner though, because I guess he re-signed Arnett Jr. Or no, that's a draft pick. Never mind. He's got LaMarcus Joyner and Trayvon Mullen, like his corners are bad also. At least they're young, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he could go safety here. He could go. I mean, there's so many places he could go. Or I'm sorry, there's so many places the CPU could go that I just need to get off this pick before I get extremely upset. So next up is the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah. Spaz started out strong and finished really weak last year. It's a disappointment because I really liked how they started out. They upset the Ravens in game 1. And then it was just downhill from there. So I have them going. This is where I have Brandon Mann going. Pode has them going Monty Burden for the wide receiver. Which I want to look at their receivers because I'm pretty sure their receivers are bad too. Who do you and Will have them going?
So I have Burton going here as well, and Will has Cameron Graham.
Okay. I like all those picks. Yeah, they definitely, like, Robert Woods is their best receiver at 30 years old and an 85 overall. They do have Zay Jones and Riley Ridley as mid-20s guys. They've got Darnell Mooney, who exploded his rookie year, and I don't think he did anything last year. Yeah, I mean, he had more touchdowns last year than he did the year before.
Yeah,
so he was a tear.
I would love to get Spaz another receiver for Minshew. I feel like that would be really nice. Just because I feel like the defense is going to take a step forward this season. We talked about in the last pod that the Bears defense is super young, outside of Khalil Mack. So I think getting a receiver like Burton would be a nice step forward.
So let's go ahead and do another question here. We've done a few picks. Let's go with, it's from Kevin sent most of the questions in, so shout out to Kevin. His 7th question he asked me, opinions on this class. Well, Kevin, it's looking pretty terrible right now.
It is a Madden generated class that we're picking from, and that's pretty much all we have to say.
So I want to look. So Dwayne Glenn at 76 overall was the number 4 player in this class. I hadn't looked at that yet. I was curious. So that's not. So you're probably looking at a top end of like 77 or 78. Unless it's a 4-way tie at the top at 76. So
that would be so
okay.
Sad.
It's an okay draft class, I guess. It's not going to be very deep, I don't think. Mid-round picks are not going to be starters, but it is what it is. Way too early mock pick for 2. I'm going to say you should take Lane Posey from Washington. He's a fullback. He's got a 5th round grade. He's the number 1 or 2, 3. He's top 3 in every single thing in the draft for fullbacks. He's number 1 speed, number 1 broad jump, number 1 3-cone. He's 2 in vertical jump, and he's got the 3rd in both bench press and 20 yards. So, sold. I was hoping I had some other like undrafted guys scouted here, but I didn't. Realistically, I'll answer this for 2-1.
It really is about who do you think is going to be here, to be honest.
No, I know there's a corner who's mid, I think. Yeah, no, that guy played at Auburn, so we got to get him away from Sam. Greg Mitchell. I like Greg Mitchell.
I think I have Mitchell going in the 1st. I'm pretty sure.
I probably do too because I liked him.
Maybe I didn't.
Dwayne Glenn, I think, is going to be the rookie who has the biggest impact, just because of how bad that running game last year was for the Texans. So let's go ahead and move on to. We just did.
We said Chicago. Let's do
Yep.
the
So
Bills' second
Buffalo's.
pick.
So go ahead. You can do yours first.
Sure. So this is where I have corner JoJo Brewer going
Okay.
here. I think there's three first round grade corners in the first round,
Yep.
and I don't feel highly, just super highly about one over the other. So I think I think Sean can get one at pick 14, and then Will has him taking defensive end Derek Ware.
And that's also where I have them going, and Pode has them going Cameron Graham here.
Yeah, so we have defense across the board.
Ooh, I like that question there. No other one. Which rookie will be the most talented but least used or used improperly, stunting the first year growth? I think I'm going to call this the Chuba Hubbard question.
Mm, you beat me to it. That's what I was going to say as well.
Um, you know what? I think it's probably going to be. I think it's probably going to be one of these D tackles. I think somebody's going to take them, and the scheme's not going to line up. I'm going to go. Let me look at where I.
My answer is easy. I'm going whoever the computer drafts for the Raiders.
That's. I mean, did he play? I want to look. Now you've got me curious. Did he end up playing his guy last year that he took in the first round, Rioso?
While you're doing
Did he
that,
end up?
out of the guys, we've only had, I think, 3 picks so far. Maybe not stunting his. Maybe not stunting his growth.
Rioso
but,
play a bit.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, 10 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. Probably could have made an argument for all rookie team if there were enough streams.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the guys who went, which one are you?
I'll just say Perez. Like, I think it's going to be hard for a rookie tight end to justify being picked at 1.3. So it's not even necessary that he's going to a bad situation, but like, just in terms of value, like
For sure.
like Glenn
For sure.
going 2 makes perfect sense because he's going to have all the carries.
He's gonna have that
in
job.
Houston.
Yep. And the other problem with Perez is he's got to compete with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So that's tough.
Who's the Bucks QB now? That
Josh
Brady
Allen.
is gone. Oh, that's right. We talked about that earlier. Josh Allen.
Yep. So moving on to Kansas City in this mock, I have them going Evan Vernon, left end from. Let me see where he's from. Texas. That's why I picked him there.
There you go.
Pode has them going Snell.
Yeah. I have him going center CJ Rogan, and Will has linebacker Kevin Roach here. I don't think Snell will fall this far. I would be really surprised if he fell to 14 or 15, excuse me.
Yeah. I like that pick if he's there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Go ahead. You're going to...
Well, I like all
about
these picks,
Vernon.
honestly.
Yeah. I don't know who Kevin Roach is. Is he an outside backer?
I can't remember. I don't remember if I have him
Oh,
scouted.
no, he's
or
a
not.
middle. I don't have him scouted, so I don't know. I mean, he's a 4.49 linebacker, so that's pretty good.
Let me see. Let me see if I have him. Okay, yeah, I got him.
Okay.
A- tackle, B+ pursuit, B+ hit power, late first round talent, late second rounder projected. So yeah, I mean, I would I think it's a bit of a reach.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't blame you. I mean, because linebacker is definitely a position of need for Kansas City for sure.
For sure. So, moving on to the Colts, who do you have them taking here?
So, I actually have them taking corner Vaughn Sutton here.
Yep.
They have 3 like pretty good corners. Um, I just think this. I don't know. I thought Von Sutton would probably be one of the better players available here, and I just didn't see a whole lot of big holes for the Colts.
Right.
And so I was like, well, if you already have a nice defensive back, like what's the hurt in adding one more? Because I don't really think any of these corners are gonna be like all-time greats in this league. But
Right.
if you can get a guy that starts for you in like in the nickel or dime formation when you already have decent corners, like to me that's pretty good value at 16.
Yep. So who did Will have him going?
Oh, Will had him taking corner JoJo Brewer.
Okay. And Poe has him taking Nick Gillespie, the safety from Washington State, who you had going way earlier. I have them going tight end Taylor Whitfield. And my thought here is Trey Burton is 30 years old. He's not going to get any younger. Why not bring in the guy who could be his direct replacement?
So
And continue on.
yeah. So this was my original pick. I actually had
Oh,
Whitfield here,
okay.
but I actually changed it because I thought Burton was a little older than he actually is. I think he's still just 30.
Yeah, he's 30, but he's
So-
also my other thought was he's also on the last year of his contract.
Yeah, that's fair.
So and the other guys on the team aren't good enough that they should still be around like as starters. But let's go ahead and move on to Atlanta. This was originally the Saints pick, but it was traded in the Grady Jarrett trade.
Yep.
I have them going wide receiver Monte Burton, and I know that seems crazy, but Julio Jones is like 33, 32 maybe. And he's not obviously not getting any younger. He's 33. He's on a big contract, but he could retire at any moment. And then they do have Calvin Ridley behind him, but then it's just a bunch of really bad players behind them.
Mhm.
So, and Pode had them going, Pode had you going inside linebacker Kevin Roach, and I don't think that'll be the pick for Atlanta.
Yeah, Will had corner
with-
Von Sutton, which that could be the pick for Atlanta. But I also had them going receiver with Kyle Weaver just because I had Burton going a little earlier to Chicago.
Yep.
But
It
I
makes
think
sense.
everything you
I think
just said makes sense, and I think Oscar's team is heading in a different direction. Like
Yep.
all his players are getting older. He's already traded Grady Jarrett to me. He has Julio. He had Julio on the block at one point as well. I really wouldn't be surprised if he traded Julio before the season started. And then, like you said, he's left with Calvin Ridley, his rookie tight end from last year, and that's really it. So I think bringing in another pass catcher for Matt Ryan or for whoever starts at quarterback for Atlanta, that would be really big.
I agree. So moving on to Tampa, who do you and Will have them going here?
So I actually had Perez going here.
All right. Well, you got the pick right. You just got it.
Yeah, wrong.
15 picks picks later, but
And Will has defensive end Clinton Williams going here. I don't know if I have Clinton Williams scouted, but I'll take a look real quick. Oh, I do. I don't know about that.
let me take a look at it.
Early second round talent, A- hit power, B+ block shedding, B+ tackle. He's okay.
Who's this?
This is right in Clint Williams out of Washington.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, he's a run stopper, so like maybe if you draft him and move him into DT, because he's big enough to play DT.
Yeah.
But this is where Pode he had the right position, he had the wrong player, and he had it a little late. He had Taylor Whitfield going here. And I have right end Cole Raymond going here. Wait, no, left end. He must be a left end.
No, he's
Oh,
a
that's
right-in.
that. No,
He's a right-in.
I was looking at I was looking at the wrong position. He's a late first grade. He's a speed rusher. 4.63, 40-yard dash. At 22 years old, like that was just too good for me to think that the Bucks would pass him up here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a reach, but if it falls that way, that could be a really good pick for them.
Agreed.
Moving on to the first pick for the Los Angeles Rams, right? They have two, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
two in the next two, or two in the next
two
three.
in the next three.
I have them going left guard Hunter Maddox, and that was before I realized that they had made a bunch of moves for offensive linemen, so that pick's definitely not going to happen.
So I had tight end Taylor Whitfield going here.
Okay.
My reason being kind of like what you said for the Colts with Burton. Greg Olson retired in the offseason, so I think Cord would be smart to use this pick on his replacement. And this is where Will has safety Nick Gillespie going, which I guess also makes sense depending on if Cord wants to trade his young safety that he has on the block right now. That could be a nice replacement.
Yep. And Pode has Glenn Owens, edge rusher. He must be an outside linebacker. Yeah, he's an outside linebacker from Florida who I do not have scouted. But 4.48 40, 4.24 20-yard shuttle, 3-cone is a 6.8. He's number one.
I got him.
And that and 36.6 vertical jump. So nice combine warrior guy, but I don't. What is his
A- pursuit, B awareness, B tackle, mid first round talent. So I mean he could be good.
He fits the build here. I did not realize he was as good as he is. So moving on to Baltimore, this is where Pode has Evan Vernon going from Texas. I had him going a few picks earlier. I have John Farrell going. I don't know who that is because I didn't put down his position. Oh, he's a free safety from Georgia. And just to cover why I think this might be the pick here, his starting free safety is Geno Stone, and he's like a 73 overall. But this pick might not be Baltimore's anymore. So, or no, never mind. Wrong. I'm thinking of Washington's pick.
I had left in Derek Ware here from USC.
Okay.
I just want him. I still feel like the Ravens are going to be good, and so I just picked best player, who I thought at this point in the draft, like who is the best player available. And
I guess that trade went through.
Which one?
The net or did it?
The Lamar
Did that
Jackson?
go through? Oh no, it didn't go through. It hasn't been approved yet. I don't know why he would put that there. I was like, did we approve that? And like, did it get enough votes without you and I voting on it?
I was gonna say either it would have had to have been.
It would have had to have been unanimous from everybody else. Like,
yeah. In the current trade, I can already tell you, it was not unanimous. Well, it might have been unanimous the other way.
It's not. It's not unanimous the other way. It's pretty close, but it's not unanimous the other way. So sorry about that, guys. I got distracted. I was like, what? I was like, he got traded? Yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to the second pick for the Rams here. Who do you have them going?
So I have them taking left end Lorenzo Verdon.
Is this still the Rams pick, or did this get traded to Tampa for Marpet?
No, he traded a second for Marpet.
Okay.
So I have Verdon here. I'll admit it's a little. Bill,
look in
yeah,
the.
Bill
uh,
O'Brien. Yeah, hey, Bob got a new job quick.
yeah.
So I have
So
Verdon
you
here, and part of the reason I thought Verdon's like he's okay. Like
right?
at this point in the draft is kind of when it starts tailing off a little bit. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
at this point, we're kind of throwing darts here. Will had left tackle Brian Boss as the pick here. I just can't see that. I mean, obviously this has been updated because Corbs traded for multiple offensive linemen, but
Yep.
also Brian Boss is bad. Like
Yeah.
I can't see him going in the first round. If he does, it's gonna be in the last three picks, I feel like. And that's if like there's just nobody else. Who'd you and
Pode
Poe
has
have?
Pode had Matt Adams going here.
Okay.
Which I don't think will happen. Just because there's a lot. He's got a lot of guys already kind of in that hybrid outside linebacker edge rusher kind of mold.
Right.
I had him going Rashad Armstrong, the defensive tackle from Wisconsin. Michael Brockers is 32 or 33, so he's not getting any younger. And this guy is just this guy's an absolute. He's top 5 in every single thing at the combine. 6'3", 305, 22, A plus hit power, A minus hit power, A minus tackle, A minus pursuit. To go along with at 305 running a 492. Like, just I think this guy could be the future DT for the Rams if they end up taking him.
Yeah, that's a good
So
pick.
yeah.
Moving on to Washington. You want to go to Washington or you want to do a couple more questions?
Let's do a couple questions. We're getting pretty close to the end of this draft. I guess I'll take one from Roy and one from Kevin. So, Roy, my question is for Kyle. Why does your team suck? I'm just asking questions.
Hashtown.
You know, there's no one specific like. I mean, I guess to answer this question, I'm just gonna go look at the stats, the team stats, and it tells the story. Pretty definite. Oh man, they're gone. You can't. Oh no, they're here. So I have the number 32 ranked offense and the number 32 ranked total defense. That's why my team sucks. There you go, Roy. It's pretty simple. We do have a question from Corb in the chat. Is Tua the guy you're staying with? Yes, I made the joke yesterday when Pode made the comment about me paying to protect Tua, and I said it's not for Tua, and he said for who, and I said Sam E. I didn't make the trade for Armstead or the signing for Armstead or the signing for Wagner for Tua. That's not who those signings are for. It's for Najee Harris. Anybody who's been in a league with me for in this league, why didn't I play Fitzmagic? Because I didn't want to accidentally win some games.
So you win games to play Fitzmagic.
Yeah. That is why your team sucked. I was honestly tanking for a number 1 pick in the first, like a top 5 pick in the first draft, and didn't work. And then I was trying to lose this season and didn't work either. Like my team's just good enough to be 7-6 in the draft. Or 7
What's
or
more
9
impressive
and 6.
is you had the last ranked offense and defense, and you didn't get the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive.
Honestly, pretty incredible.
So the plan is to build around that offensive line and let Harris just run wild behind it, because just looking at the offensive line now, it's 96 overall Teron Armstead, it's 80 overall Wyatt Davis, both superstars. It's, and this is 73 overall Drake Jackson, which is fine, but he's a 23-year-old. 79 overall Rick Wagner, superstar, and then Randy Spencer moving to right tackle. Like, it just, I have Oh, I'm not. No. A, because Rebel said that we would do that, and B, I don't want Lamar Jackson. I don't think I would have the cap space to sign him next year, giving um $67 million over 2 seasons to Teron Armstead. Um,
Also, time out real quick. Hey, just FYI, everybody, you're gonna get a lot more value for your players if you put them on the official trade block,
yeah, you
like,
give
and not just
people a
talk with
chance
one
to.
person. Because like this happens
This
all
is
the time, and like just put
and
them on the block.
it happens with Cody all the time. Cody will reach out, and it's smart. You know, I'm sure Rebel reached out to the new guy in Baltimore and said, "Hey, you know, oh, I'm sorry, Corb. I had to go get a star left tackle, and Armstead was there. I didn't realize he was going to be in this free agent class, and my jaw literally dropped when he was there. Um, so yeah. Also, CMs, I don't think I've ever seen a CM try to sneak in and snake a trade away from anyone in this league ever. CMs are not going to reject a trade and then come in and try to steal it from you. That's not what we would do. Or no other one coming in with the fire. Or just mass message everyone every other week like Corb does. Hey, I mean,
Hey, Corb won.
I like the
What was it? Three
three
Super Bowls
three
in
Super
Madden
Bowl.
20. My man knows what's up. He knows how to do stuff.
Yeah, it's not. I like the playful banter.
Hey,
Um,
it Corb's strat is this. He wears you down. He's like
yeah,
ocean. He's like waves on a beach. He just keeps on coming. If you
yeah.
if you ignore his first message, oh, you're getting one
He's
the next day.
one time it was a long time ago. It probably was when Corb first came in Madden 19. He sent me a message, and whatever it was, I was like, I don't like that trade, and he just sent it again like 3 or 4 hours later. And then when I didn't answer it, he was like, "Hey man, can you at least answer?" Like, and I was like, "Oh, all right. Let's negotiate here." So, um, so moving on from the
I don't
Dolphins
even know what we
question,
were talking about.
we were talking about why does my team suck, and then there was questions about Tua. Um, let's do Chris's actually. Can Brock Purdy do enough to get superstar after the season? And
Oh yeah.
the easy answer is yes.
Oh, absolutely.
That wide receiver corp with Greg Kittle, it wouldn't surprise me if Purdy threw for about 4,700 yards and maybe like 28 to 32 touchdowns.
Eh, I don't know about that. I think 4,000. I think 4,000 is pretty reasonable, but
I'm going
4,700 with I mean that's like
I'm
only I
going
think
all
only
in.
well I think only one QB threw for over 4,700 yards, and that was Russell Wilson last year. So
But remember, we've changed the sliders a lot
that's true.
to help the
Sure.
offense.
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
think Purdy is the MVP next season.
Mm,
Bold take or early take. Purdy is the MVP.
okay. Well, I have nothing to add to that.
uh, so then we'll go to Kevin's question. And who had the worst off season? Let's go negative on him.
The worst off season.
I'm gonna go with. I've got 3, and I've done this before. I'm gonna go 2 for inaction and 1 for what they did. So clearly you know where I'm going with one of my inactions this offseason. Yep. It's the Raiders. Let's see. Did they sign anyone? Anyone new here? Oh no, of course not. Because he re-signed a couple guys. Great. You didn't bring in anyone that's yeah. You didn't bring in anybody who's gonna help this team going forward. Like this is the exact same team that went 7-9 last season, and the guys are getting worse because they're aging.
Yep.
And
No, I
and
agree.
and I want to look at his salary real quick just to like, because I'm sure he had room to outbid guys. Like, and I get it. You're not trying to make moves that don't make sense for your timeline. Like, that's fine. I get that.
Yeah,
He only had like he's got no cap space, I guess. But I mean, who does he have that he could have freed up?
well, I think Carr's
Like,
the big one, right?
yeah, Carr, Corey Littleton is 80 overall and 28. Tyrell Williams is 80 and 30 years old. You could have traded Rodney Hudson. Lamarcus Joyner is making $10 million this season and it has no penalty.
What? How is he
Yeah.
not cut?
Yeah, why is he there?
Oh.
He's 30. He's 31 years old and he's a 77 overall. You could make a statement saying Gabe Jackson shouldn't be there. 31, 78. He frees up $9 million with only a $2,500 or $250,000 cap penalty. Carl Nassib frees up $8 million with no cap penalty. Nick Kwiatkowski frees up 7 with no cap penalty. Like, you have 15, 24, 34, 46, 58, $76 million in cap that you could have cleared up for players who are bad. Why? Why are they here? If he would have just cut these guys and went all in on being bad, I wouldn't have anything to say. Because he would have had, he could have gone and signed
I would have
Josh
said
Allen.
he would have had a great offseason.
He could have gone and signed Josh Allen. And then the other guy, and this goes back, the other guy for inaction, this goes back to last season. I said it last season. It's the Vikings. He still has Kirk Cousins on the roster. He can cut Kirk Cousins and get $25 million in cap space. Why is Adam Thielen still on this team? Unless you were bringing in a young quarterback to help out, why is Adam Thielen here? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you let Harrison Smith just walk.
Right. Kyle Rudolph is still on this team at 32 years old.
Jeez.
And an 80 overall with Irv Smith here. Like, you could have traded Kyle Rudolph for pennies on the dollar, yes, but still something. Draft picks, whatever. He re-signed Brian O'Neill to a huge contract when he's a normal dev 26-year-old guy. Like, he's paying Brian O'Neill $10 million for the next 4 years. $11 million in 2024 and 11.7 in 2025 for a guy who's okay. Michael Pierce is here. He's a 91 overall, but he's 29, and I'm pretty sure this is the last year of his deal. So unless you're planning on re-signing him, what are you doing here? And then, like you said, you let Harrison Smith walk for nothing after letting Anthony Harris go last season. Now you did draft Caden Stearns, which is great, but now you've got Steven Parker as your starting safety, so you're going to have to take a safety early, probably. Anthony Barr's still on the team at 30 overall, 78 with superstar dev, and he's gone down. No, none of these guys have ever... Yeah, if he was taking a young quarterback, I would be fine with that, but I bet he sticks with Kirk Cousins. And I just don't think that, this makes sense.
It doesn't. That's why you've already picked 2 of the 3 of my teams that I was going to say.
And then for guys who I think made some moves, but they were... I don't know if it's worst or if it's most confusing to me, and it's the Bills.
Dang it, that's mine too. Ugh. All right,
I'm sorry. I'm
gonna try
so
to
I'm
find a different
sorry.
team. Nah, I'm gonna find a
I'm
different
so,
team now. Let's see.
I'm sorry.
See
Like
one of
you
you other mofo's had a bad off season.
so
Let's.
like you signed Aaron Rodgers, which is fine. I like that. But who's he throwing to other than Kyle Pitts right now? Cole Beasley because you gave Stephon Diggs to a rival team. You know, you go and you sign Chandler Jones, which is fine, and Dante Hightower, and you've got Tremaine Edmonds, which is good, and you've got Jaleel Holmes. Like he's got superstar guys, but now your defense isn't going to be as good because you don't have Trey White back there. You let Micah Hyde go with no clear contingency behind him. You know, you've got Ed Oliver, who's good. It's not that it's a bad offseason. It just confuses me with the other moves that have been made.
Also want to do a quick shout out. Shout out to you, Blair, getting Jamar Chase to an 87 overall in year
Yeah.
one. Good for you. I'm looking through the teams.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is an absolute stud, man.
Good
Like
for you, Blair.
I wanted him so bad. Like I should have reached out to the Bears and tried to get a trade up, but the value for Jamar Chase didn't make sense to anybody until Blair traded up for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
So
I agree. Um,
there weren't a lot of terrible off seasons. It was
there
those.
really weren't. There's some confusing ones, but not bad. I'll just stick with those three.
Yeah, I think those are the three that are the most like. What were you doing? Oh, quick announcement. I am going to just do the state of the franchises after this. I'm just going to stick on stream for another like 20, 30 minutes after this and do state of the franchise. So if you want to stick around, Sam, and do those with me,
Yeah, I'll stick around.
you're free to because I
Okay.
have Cowboys, Browns, and Bills to do. So
I guess another one I just found you could argue had a weird off season is the Titans.
you know what? And saying the Browns, I wasn't gonna. They also had a really confusing offseason.
Like the Titans let Stafford walk, which is like I understand that, but I guess they only have Tannehill on his roster now. So I guess he's just going to roll with Tannehill unless he tries to take a QB in like the second or third round, which with this roster doesn't make a whole lot of sense because with Derrick Henry still being 28 and
Yeah.
AJ Brown is good. He also has 3 receivers on his roster. So he's got some work to do here. And he has a 63 overall left guard, a 57 overall center. It's that
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not great. And the Browns are confusing for me for signing Tom Brady. Why? Daniel Jones and Jamie Newman are here. You could have like
why
whatever.
why
Let's go back to the draft. Let's go back to the draft. I
Yeah.
can't do this right now. My brain hurts.
just play
where did
Newman. Like you took him in the
Yeah.
first round last year.
so
Whatever.
let's go to Rebel and the Washington football team. Who will probably not have this pick when it's all said and done. He probably will do enough to get this trade to go through, I'm sure. Because he has to. He has no quarterback, so he better, figure out value that makes sense for everybody. I have Washington taking Nick Gillespie here, strong safety. Landon Collins is getting older, and he's not that good anyway. And Pode has them going Myron Brennan here, safety out of.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was responding to the CM chat. Yeah,
Oh, I'll go take a look in there.
okay.
Myron Brennan from Michigan.
Yeah, so I have Glenn Owens here, and I did this before the combine stuff came out, and Glenn Owens actually looks like a really good player. So honestly, if I had to redo
Viking.
it,
Oh,
I,
damn! Vikings is leaving.
yeah, I would probably move Owens up if I had to redo it here. So I think if Washington gets Owens here at 22, I feel like that's a really good value. And then Will has linebacker Chet Shepard here. I don't know if I have Chet Shepard scouted or not. Let me take a look.
We need to find the Vikings. Yeah, they're right. We need to find ones right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean Chet's okay. A minus pursuit, B plus hit power, B plus tackle. He's ranked in the top. He's ranked in the top 10 for all the middle linebackers for every combine thing, and he's 21, mid second round talent. So yeah, I mean I mean he could be good. I mean the second round talent thing scares me a little bit if you're taking him in the first, but I think he's got
Wish.
good. I think he's got good combine stats at least.
Should we just skip the pick?
Uh,
Because it's
I
gonna
don't
take
know.
us. It's probably gonna take us more than the next 30 minutes to find a.
Probably so. Uh,
Uh, give us
I
a
don't know.
minute. I'll just put in the CM chat and ask.
While you're doing that, I'll move on to Philly.
Man, I really like Nick too.
I did too.
Uh,
He's a nice guy.
yeah.
So
Anytime I had talks with him, but and before I get questions from people, he left because he just hasn't been on the box in a while, so it's not anything like else. Like I always get questions when people leave. Why did they leave? Most of the time, it's just because guys don't have time anymore, and it sucks. But all right, well
yeah,
we got two skips.
yeah,
We
and
got two skips in here. So
shit. Yeah, and we've had a couple people
yeah,
say just haven't been getting into Madden this year as much, which is understandable. Um,
why does anyone stay? I don't know. Because they enjoy the people and like GM leagues.
LOLs. What else am I gonna do?
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and skip this quick. So we will have the Vikings pick. I really wish you would have told us before we started the draft. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Um.
Or if he set a
Uh.
board.
I'm sure it'll take. Even if he didn't. Even if he didn't set a board, it should take.
Vince.
That's pretty good. Who doesn't like roster baiting? I mean,
True.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and make your pick here too before we move forward at all
Okay.
because we can get through these next two picks in the next few minutes. So
Yeah, I'll tell Sean that he's about to be on the clock. All right. Who you gonna pick?
I'm gonna see who you guys pick, and then I'm gonna make my decision. Like it's 100% gonna come down to who you guys pick.
I was gonna.
Uh,
I was hoping you would. I was hoping you'd tell me. I was gonna take him.
I'm gonna take JoJo Sawyer.
Okay. All right. Deal. Bet.
Yeah, take him.
You want to do
Take
Philly
a,
real
I,
quick before we get to my
yeah,
pick? So
yeah.
it's pretty
So
easy. Pode and Will both have Philly taking edge Cole Raymond
Raymond.
here. I have him taking Kevin Roach, the middle linebacker. And like we said, we're
I have
really
him.
just throwing darts at this point.
I have him. I have him taking Myron Brennan here. I know he plays strong safety. Move him to free, and then you've got a really good duo in the back end of your
The Saints are now on the clock.
Max Harris, 75 overall from Auburn.
Dang it,
I
computer!
um um. So I think if they take Myron Brennan here, they have a really good safety duo at the back end.
Yeah,
So
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here. Dang
all
it!
right, let's Let's see what he does.
Let's see. Some BS.
Did I start Joe Burrow today? I think I did. I think I was pretty saucy. I didn't in this league. I know I started Kyler.
Take that fullback. I will, Vince. Do it. Do it for the memes. I would take. I wish Matt Adams even had like a mid-round grade, because I would probably take him. What's this guy? All right, let's go.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Freaking
Damn.
Normie.
Damn, you took that. I had to see if that's who you took. Damn you. Damn you. I mean, I'm glad he's a normie, and I don't have to take him now. Somebody who I know is not on the box, so they don't accidentally accept this trade. Straight up sevens across the board doesn't work. They hit for the computer. It's like, nah, this is a bad trade. Like,
Garbage.
it's fine. It's fine.
He's got. He's okay. I mean, he's all right.
Yeah, I can't go ahead and take.
Take that strong
I
arm.
can't take that.
I can't. Do it.
Do it for the memes.
Do it.
I'm doing it for. I don't want to do this, but I may end up doing it. But not the QB. That's silly. God, there's just no good players in this draft. Like, ugh. And if I take Rogan, he's not gonna play. Like, there's only like one other or two other like early first round graded players. I don't need another middle linebacker because Baker got superstar dev. Pode wants me to take Derek Ware. Is that who he had me going in the mock? Is that why he said that?
Let's see.
No, he had me taking Brandon Mann. Future one for the pick, Kyle. That's tempting.
I mean, it's gonna be the number 1 pick next year.
I know, it's the 23 that like it's 23 that makes me not want to take him here. God, this is so much pressure because he's also 23, Pode. He's also 23 though. Like, this is tough, and there's like everybody's watching.
Kyle,
So
take
they're all
another
gonna
wide
see it.
receiver. We have 4-3-3.
Yeah, but
Oh,
he just
Moses had 89 speed, by the way. He's slow as shit.
I kind of figured he wasn't going to be very fast.
Oh yeah, me too.
I just signed Jonathan Sweat, so I can't or Josh Sweat. I can't take another. Like, I just spent money on him. I could use like a right end if I don't want to sign Christian Wilkins. It's late first round. I can't. You know what? My strong safeties are trash, but he's late, and I don't want to reach that high at 6 overall. Yeah, it's gonna be JoJo.
The Bills.
Fuck off!
Oh no.
It's fine. He's normal. That's the
At
problem.
least he's 76.
Yeah.
Whew. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well,
91 speed, 71 man coverage, 72 zone, 93
Ugh.
acceleration, 92 agility, 75 play rec, 89 jumping and 71 catching. I probably should have. He's not bad. And the other thing,
okay.
the other thing is Caleb Farley suspended for the entire season, so I definitely needed another. I definitely needed another corner. I was just hoping to take him later, but the Bills are on the clock. So I think it's been all normies except for well, we don't know about Max Harris. He could have Dev, but it's been all normies except for Glenn.
Probably X
Which
Factor.
Yeah, probably. Jesus Christ. Most of this draft has been normies so far, so it means all the late round guys are gonna have Dev, and it's gonna be super annoying. Sean absolutely has to take a wide receiver here if he's around to make the pick. So we were on the New York Football Giants.
We were on the Jets.
Oh yeah, Jets, not Giants. Duh. So Pote has himself taking John Farrell, the safety, out of the free safety.
Yeah, Will had him taking Glenn Owens here. I have him taking defensive tackle Rashad Armstrong.
I like that pick there. Pair him with
Williams.
Pair him with Quinn. Yep, up front. I have him going wide receiver because I was like, I have no idea. His team's so good. I don't have any idea what I would do here.
Yeah.
I've been taking Jonathan Adams or Jonathan Thomas? It must be Thomas. Like, I don't have a John Adams here that I see. Yeah, it must be John Thomas. 6'5", 233 from Miami. He's an early second round grade.
Rogers throwing to himself.
I mean, I did this before he traded for Michael Thomas, so I don't think this will be the pick now. Because my thought was,
is his pick anymore, or is this Kevin's pick?
Oh no, this is Roy's pick now.
Is it Roy's pick?
Yeah, because he got it in the trade for
Roy's pick. Okay, thank you.
So I could see Jonathan Thomas. Well, he signed Anthony Miller this offseason, so again, probably not going to be the pick.
That's true. He's being traded around like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if it's Roy, Armstrong could be the pick. I guess Farrell couldn't be. I guess Farrell and Owens would be unlikely given who's on Roy's team. But
yeah, I think Armstrong, if he's around, is the pick here.
Moving on to the Steelers, I had safety Myron Brennan going here to pair alongside Minka, and this is where Will has Glenn Owens going, and that would be a good pick too.
This is where.
No, I'm sorry. He has defensive tackle Amari Davis going here.
This is where Pode has defensive tackle Rashard Armstrong going, and I have outside linebacker Matt Adams going. Just for depth, it was like I was like, this is another team where there's not a lot of need. So, but I like the D tackle picks because his best D tackle is PJ Hall. Moving on to Cleveland, I have them taking Zach Holloman, right end, to pair with Christian Barrymore and Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's who Pote has as well. I had Brian Bach here at the left tackle. I just honestly didn't really see a whole lot else, and plus there's some positions I just don't have scouted, so I just don't know.
Right.
This is where Will has wide receiver Monty Burton going, and I just don't see how he falls that far. But I guess it could. But I would be really surprised.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go to New Orleans. Uh, I don't. I have you going Brian Boss here. I think Pode does as well. Yeah. And it's not to playing him at left tackle. It would be to move him to a different offensive line position where you're weaker.
Yeah, I had myself taking middle linebacker Shepard here.
Okay.
Kind of. This was before I signed Mosley in free agency. So if I still picked him, I would probably move him to one of the outside backers potentially. But with this pick and with 32, I honestly have no idea.
Yeah,
It really
you just
depends
trade
on
him.
who's there.
Just trade him.
Yeah,
Take a page from my book and don't mess up and just trade him.
there you go. Will has outside linebacker DeAndre Farr here. I have not scouted DeAndre Farr, so I can tell you I will not be taking him because I don't know who that is.
I'll tell you that if you took him, I would boot you from the league. He is a mid-round 3 true talent.
Oh, there you go.
And he's 23 overall. So if you took him, I would boot you from the league. Like, moving on to Dallas. I have them taking left tackle Matt Bennett, because they have nobody starting at right tackle, I think, so they could move him over there. Let me double check that to make sure that's true and I'm not just making things up. But I'm pretty sure they don't have a single right tackle on the roster. Yeah, they don't have a single right tackle on the roster. It's a little bit of a reach. Matt Bennett is a early second round grade, but you don't. It's not like he has backups he could plug in over there. So if he took Bennett and then moved him to right tackle, that would be really smart. Pode had them going Justin Galloway, tight end. I don't think that's going to happen with Blake Jarwin's great play.
I wouldn't think so either. I have right tackle Spencer Rogers here. It would be a reach, but I saw the same thing you did on his roster, so I figured, even if he's not that good, he's still 21, and if you dev offensive line, then he might be okay. And then Will has defensive end Evan Vernon going here.
I don't think Vernon falls this far, but I guess it's possible. Let's go ahead and do another question from Kevin. All right, we can do a couple of them. Best signing of this offseason. Did we do that one already? I don't think so.
We did which signings we liked
We had
the
worst.
best.
Okay, so we did. Let's do worst signing then. No, we did that. We did those ones. Never mind. God. Who had the best offseason? We didn't do as a whole who had the best offseason. Because we did worst, and it was.
So Sean said he can make his pick in an hour and a half.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cowboys had no cap, so I didn't hold it against you when you didn't make any moves. But it's definitely not the. And you want a Super Bowl, and I'm not gonna it's definitely not the best offseason. I'm gonna go with Chris. I know we won it last year too for one of our best off seasons, but I really like what Chris did. He brought in Le'Veon Bell and Mark Ingram. So he's got 2 really good guys. He brought in Jarvis Landry and DeAndre Hopkins. He didn't do a lot anywhere. His offensive line could be a problem if he doesn't, if he doesn't get any guys there. But I mean, he's still got. He brought in Desmond Trufant and Emmanuel Mosley too, I think. So he made a lot of moves that make his team better without, a ton of cap space to do it, really. Getting Jarvis Landry, this is like last year when he got T.Y. Hilton. Chris just makes savvy moves for 1-year guys who he doesn't have to keep around for a long time.
Does Hopkins even play on Madden? Yes, he does when he doesn't have a running quarterback.
Yeah. Who would you have for your best offseason?
Probably the 49ers.
Yeah.
Just to me, they're almost the only ones that I can say, okay, they're significantly better than last year. There are teams that got better, but like marginally better.
Wow, that's hurtful. I think the Dolphins got way better. So, I mean, I just didn't want to talk about myself.
Sure. I mean, you did better on the offensive line for sure. I'm still upset you got Rick Wagner because I really wanted him.
I also signed 80 overall, 25-year-old Josh Sweat.
Whatever.
I mean, I didn't do anything else. Like, it was those two guys, and then
Between him and the Texans literally offering the full 140-point offer for Carlton Davis just really ticked me off.
and I'll give some love to Pode here, I guess, if I have to. He did switch from Cooper Kupp to Michael Thomas, so
Sure.
I don't even have Fitz on my team anymore. He's gone. Like,
Is he even still like? Is he not retired?
I don't
yet?
think. I'm pretty sure he's retired. Like, he was gone after 1 year. Like, I drafted 2 other bad quarterbacks. Like, I've got Sammy. Like, he's gonna lead us to the promised land. He is ugly. He doesn't have a beard in real life. Ugh. Why does he have that neck beard? I'm so mad at how ugly they made Sam E. So I guess we can just move on, because the rest of Kevin's questions are kind of like about the draft class, and we have no, like, I want to be able to answer most overrated and underrated, but it's just too early to tell.
I agree.
So moving on to Cleveland, I have them taking defensive tackle Matt Henning, early second round grade, 23 overall, A- tackling, B+ block shed, and B hit power. I'm gonna put the scenario up here and probably right around draft time.
I had Cleveland taking left tackle Matt Bennett. Pode had Max Harris going here, which he's already gone.
Yeah.
And Taylor Whitfield, the tight end, is who Will had. I also can't really see that because I think Whitfield is just too good to fall this far. Like, even if a team doesn't desperately need tight end, it's like, would you rather have a tight end who you think is going to be pretty good or take a chance on one of these second-round guys? I think everybody would just rather just take the tight end.
So Pode asked a question. Why are EA so incompetent and haven't fixed the freezing bug that was reported almost a month ago? Shaking my head. Yeah, I don't know, especially since we were the league that reported it to them.
Because
like
it's a franchise bug and not a mutt.
Yeah.
Not a mutt bug.
Yeah, maybe in the November update they'll fix it when, they make it so everybody can edit their abilities,
They'll fix it.
That's a smart.
They'll fix it in Madden 22.
They'll fix it 1 month before Madden 22 is when they'll finally fix it.
This mutt is poop. I've actually had good fun with mutt this year, but that's probably because I haven't played as much online.
So moving on to Baltimore, Pode and I both have him going Kevin Barker. I actually just copied the last 3 picks from these next 2 picks from Pode because I didn't have anybody else. So, you would think that with J.K. Dobbins here in Baltimore that he would have been getting more run, but that wasn't in Hutch's plans, I guess. I mean, he's still 79 overall. He's 23, but has he missed out on his chance to really dev? Because, I mean, now
I think
to
so.
go from 79 to 80 is 7,460 XP. Like, Utch was planning on competing for a Super Bowl, but I still think that the right choice would have been to start Dobbins over Ingram, just because Dobbins is faster, and I think that would have paired well with Lamar.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, just looking at, like, just even looking at, he has the same amount to go from 79 to 80 as Harris has to go from 80 to 81. So, like, that's a lot to ask of a 23-year-old running back. I think he's missed his chance here.
Yeah, I agree. I have left guard Tommy Kraus going here, and Will has tight end Justin Galloway going here.
Oh, okay. So moving on to Houston, they need guard play. So Pod and I both have them going Tommy Kraus.
Yeah, I had wide receiver DeLauren Givens going here just because
Okay.
Houston needs offensive players. Givens was the last pretty decent guy on my board, and Will has defensive end Torrey Cummings going here.
Okay. And then finishing up the mock draft with the New Orleans Saints at 32, I have Sheldon Cosby going here. Pod has Brendan Hayward.
Yeah, I have cornerback James Flott going here.
James Flott. Okay.
He's okay. Like, he's not great,
Yeah.
but I probably need one more corner.
Yeah.
And Will had
I-
Dwayne Glenn going here.
I'm surprised you didn't go for the Auburn guy at corner, Nick Bonds.
Yeah,
I mean, he played for Auburn, though.
I know. Yeah,
Um,
at 32, there's just not gonna be great. Like, I'm just not gonna have that many good options, so I don't know. If you want one of my later picks, come slide into my DMs.
So if there are any questions in the chat about the draft or anything else, put them in there now. And then we'll move on to state of the franchise real quick. So 530 for 132 deal. I got it. I'm on that. I'll auto approve that.
Oh gosh.
Ugh. I don't.
While we're waiting on questions, do you guys want to hear how dumb I am? I sat Matt Ryan today on fantasy. I said, you know what? Cam Newton's gonna have a nice day. Matt Ryan dropped 50 in my league. I also had a Julio. I'm a big dummy.
Yeah. I'm just reading the trade committee chat, and I'm like so far behind on it.
Yeah, I've tried to keep up. I would say
I'm like,
so. Thanks, Cord. I thought it was the right move.
I don't. Who inquired after? Oh, Chris inquired about?
Yeah.
Oh. Ugh. Whatever. That's not. Knock it off. You're all adults.
And if somebody wants Lamar, he's available.
Yeah.
Corb.
Yeah.
Lil Lamar action. Lil Lamar, some picks, throw in Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
It's a better offer than he's getting. You could have Lamar and OBJ.
All right, so we're moving on to state of the